Hi everyone, my name's Kate and this is my testimonial for SCD. If I just tell you a bit about my story and then you can see how SCD has impacted my life and we'll go from there. Okay, so 20 years ago I had symptoms with a tummy bug and they didn't go away. I didn't think anything of it. And then went back and forth to my GP. And very quickly, over a week or 2 weeks period of time, I developed some IBD symptoms, and which were very acute at the time. So I was very frightened, and we went back and forth to the doctors. And finally, after many weeks, had a colonoscopy, and IBD Crohn's was diagnosed. So I was put on mesalazine, gastro tablets, and that was our first line of therapy. But I was really, really sick, and I had to go and live back with my parents. I was early 20s. I was teaching in London in a flat share, so I went back to my parents. I couldn't function. I couldn't work. I was so ill, we were so frightened. And we thought there must be something else. So my parents and I did some research and we found the Specific Carbohydrate Diet. We found the book, Breaking the Vicious Cycle by Lelaine Gottschall. And we started reading and it gave us some hope. And so I remember my mum was cooking some chicken soup and we went and bought a yogurt maker, got Lucy's cookbook from the States, and really educated ourselves. And within 10 days, I had far less symptoms. I had far less blood, less urgency. I wasn't going to the toilet 20 times a day. And we had some hope that my symptoms were reducing. This wasn't a quick fix at all, but we stuck with it, and I was eating amazing foods. We did the intro diet for 5-6 days, and we saw amazing results. So for me, that was really life-changing. I stayed on the same medications. I stayed in touch with my gastroenterologist at the time, and the only thing that I changed was what I ate. And I could see amazing results within a 2-week period, which was incredible. So I went back to work, I went back to London, I went back to my life, and I stayed on SCD for many years. And I stayed on the same medication, which was mesalazine mesavant. I wasn't on any biologics, I wasn't on steroids, and I stuck with it. So it was a real really life-changing experience for me, and I got my life back. So that was 20 years ago, roughly. And to cut a long story short, I've been on SCD, but I have fallen off the wagon because, of course, what happens is when you're well, you forget how awful you felt. So over the years, I've eaten rice and had some grains and bread and thought that this wasn't going to affect me, but I've had various flare-ups over the years, but I've always gone back onto SCD, and I retrained in nutrition. So I feel that is, it's been so life-changing on that front as well as my career goes. And the most profound experience of SCD has been most recently when last Christmas I was starting a really bad flare. It had been building up for a few months, and over Christmas it really got me. I couldn't function. I couldn't be a great parent. I couldn't. It was the middle of COVID, so everything was very, very stressful anyway. But I thought, what's going on? I went back onto SCD. I went back onto the intro for 6 days, and my symptoms reduced dramatically again. So again, that was teaching me that SCD was what worked for me, and learning more and more about the science. It's incredible. So eating chicken soup, the yogurts, cooked vegetables, cooked fruits, over 6 days. I wasn't going to the toilet 20 times a day. Blood, mucus was reduced. Again, I was still on the same medication. I had gone to see my gastro doctor, and they'd give me some prednisolone tablets, some steroid tablets, but I thought I'm going to go back onto SCD, back onto the intro, and it has been amazing. So that is a really recent experience of SCD, and it works for me. So I'm going to stick with it. That's what I'm going to do. And if you are experiencing IBD symptoms, then it is worth thinking about this route, looking at the science, giving it a go. And I would rather, everybody says to me, oh, but you must miss out on lots of food. Well, I don't. I have the best diet and the most nutritious foods. And I would rather I'd rather bake my own cakes than eat cakes that make my IBD symptoms worse, so that I can get my quality of life back. That is no hardship in my opinion. So SCD has been amazing for me. And yeah, I hope you can learn from this and learn from the SCD community. Good luck in your health journey.